Replacement cycle. We know the hurricane hunters are on their way out there. The hurricane warning that the Premier talked about, obviously in place here as of 5 o'clock tonight. In the same big trough that brought us the severe weather and is now bringing some pretty nasty flooding up in upstate Pennsylvania, where we've actually got some water rescues and some water coming into the homes up there in the Dunmore area, is the same one that's going to turn this and pretty much plant it pretty close to our friends in Bermuda. So all the models have been pretty lined up here, and they are close enough, certainly, so that now it just depends on how close we are. In other words, are we 25 miles or are we 50 miles away from Bermuda? We still think there's enough energy in here to deal with approximately 27 hours of tropical storm force winds and 8 hours of hurricane force winds here coming up. The European model a little bit slower here, but from what we see, certainly, I think in terms of the size and the power of this, it's not going to weaken all that much going on in time. Kim, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim. Here's our number 3 video. Parts of New South Wales, Australia, got a late season snow yesterday, causing some tricky driving for travelers.
Good night.
Night.
For those kept awake by pain, the night is anything but good. Introducing new Aleve PM, the first one with a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour strength of Aleve for pain relief that can last until the AM. Now you can have a good night and a
good morning.
New Aleve PM for a better AM.
When we say the all-new Chrysler 200 is all new, we mean it. We used the latest tools and built a new state-of-the-art manufacturing plant. We gave it new smart technology. We challenged conventional thinking with a more intuitive design. And we set new expectations of what an American sedan can be. The all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Bear Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
All right, we got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond.
Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 2 ready.
When the game's on the line,
hit them with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Hey, I noticed your car's not in the driveway.
Yeah, it's in the shop. It's gonna cost me an arm and a leg.
That's hilarious.
Sorry.
Should have taken it to Midas. Get some of that Midas touch. They'll tell you what stuff needs fixing and what stuff can wait.
All right. Next time, going to Midas.
High five. Did not see that coming.
Get the Midas Touch maintenance package, including an oil change for only $24.99. And here's the deal. Use your Midas credit card and get a rebate of $25. Oil, tires, brakes, everything. Trust the Midas Touch.
If you don't think top of my game when you think AARP, you don't know ARP. AARP Staying Sharp keeps your brain healthy with online exercises by the top minds in brain science. Find more real possibilities at aarp.org/possibilities.
This is just too good to keep quiet. PetSmart's low prices on your favorite food brands just got lower. Shop a wide assortment of food and now save up to $7 on select natural and specialized nutrition for dogs at PetSmart.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far, far worse.
Sunday night, the Weather Channel unravels a new tale of weather legend.
Voodoo, black magic, is it real? Yeah, it's real.
American Supernatural. Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies.
Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, mainly sunny, high 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8. Coming up next.
Gabrielle in Virginia says she learned her lesson from her close call with a lightning strike. She's going to stay inside when she hears thunder from now on. She did go in and post her video to our Facebook page. As soon as you hear thunder, you need to get inside. Hey everyone, it's the bottom of the hour on Weather Center Live. I'm Kim Cunningham. We hope you're having a great day. Well, those storms, they have pushed east. And storm tracker Jim Cantori's in the lab watching them tonight. And Jim, the good news, severe threat minimal, if anything at all.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about severe thunderstorms at all. I am worried about flooding, though. We got reports out of Dunmore, Pennsylvania, of water coming into homes, out of Utica, New York, as much as 3 feet of water coming across the streets. And that's the problem when you line up the winds in the atmosphere pretty much coming out of the same direction. There's really nothing to drive this trough or this front out of the way, so storms can repeat themselves coming over the same areas. The other thing, too, is remember, we have Atlantic moisture coming in here, and you have deep tropical moisture in the mid and upper levels. So you know, I was even talking to my father, who I affectionately call the Big Ragu, up in White River Junction, Vermont today, and he said, I got the air conditioning on. It's just, even though it's only in the 70s, it's just a very, very high water content air, and so it's very, very humid. So here's this low-level jet, sub-severe, so we're not worried about, again, the winds, but we could certainly get a gust on one of these line segments, but the problem is right up in here, where we're getting, you know, rain after rain after rain band that just keeps coming through and producing those flooding problems. So there you see the flood warnings that are out. This is the Dunmore area. This is the Utica area, where we talked about the 3 feet of water coming across the road. This is all coming into the 911 center. Philly, you've got some heavy showers heading up toward Trenton and Riverton in New Jersey. Looks like some heavier rain down near Vineland, working its way up through South Jersey. That may just pass to the east of Philadelphia. Scranton dealing with a little bit of a break now, and this is good news because, as we told you about, Dunmore has been crushed. What we don't want to have happen, though, Sarah, scoot out just a little bit. I want to see what's down here in Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. Could be some more heavy rain that's developing here and come back over this area just to exacerbate the flooding. So we have to watch that, because that's what we're going to get. We're going to get band after band after band after band of rain that just keeps coming north and flooding these areas. All right, heading up to Syracuse here, and between Syracuse and Binghamton, you can see where the core of that heavy rain has been. Of course, Utica is in that, as you can see on the top right. Estimates here of about 2 inches of rain. Look where that yellow area goes. Just bends right into Utica, New York, unfortunately, and that's where we've had that heavier rain. So here's the flash flood warning there. Again, Oneida County, so that's New Hartford, Rome, and Utica, as we talked about. We got a little bit of a break. Now more rain coming back overhead. Sarah, do the same thing. Zoom out a little bit here. I want to show, again, this area that we have more rain. As a matter of fact, the same stuff that just went through the Dunmore area is going to come right back up and unfortunately hit you again. So I would imagine some more of these areas are going to fill in with flood warnings before the night goes on. I got a report from a storm spotter, too, in Oneida County. He said, Jim, there's a lot of leaves coming off the trees, and they are clogging the drains. That is also helping to pile up the water. You got a ton of leaf drop here with this particular situation. You know, 20, 30 mile per hour winds, doesn't have to be severe at all. Heavy rain on top of those leaves, they're going to take them off the trees. Just like that. Big trough here is going to slowly move its way on through New England tomorrow. As it does, it's going to continue to pile up the rain. Looks like New York City tomorrow morning, just asking for trouble with the rush hour. Heaviest rain between 4 and 10 a.m. So here we are tonight. We'll watch that rain develop, we think, in earnest. At least that's what the high-resolution models say, getting into tonight. Here's 8:30 in the morning, getting crushed at all three airports, Newark, JFK, and LaGuardia. Expect delays. Then you're out of the woods by the time we get to 3:30. But here comes Boston's rush hour, Providence's rush hour, Concord's rush hour. Ugh, there we are, right through 8 o'clock there. So that's the heavy rain there. And then Portland will deal with one band of rain and then potentially another one as we get into the Friday morning hours, even though now some of the latest high-resolution stuff has the rain or the heavier rain off to the northeast of Portland by the time Friday morning rolls around. All in all, it's the flood risk tonight that we watch out for, not the severe. All right, Kim, back to you.
Thanks, Jim. All right, our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, has been analyzing and tallying around the clock since the severe weather outbreak began. Now, tonight, he has a breakdown of what happened and what the powerful storms produced as they moved across the south.
We've had quite a severe thunderstorm outbreak. It began Sunday evening. Most of the tornadoes were Monday and then into Tuesday morning, with the National Weather Service having confirmed by noon Wednesday at least 29 of those tornadoes. They're in the dark gray shaded states here. 8 states, in fact, with confirmed tornadoes. And we see here that Illinois leads the way with 7, Missouri 6, Arkansas 5, and then on Tuesday morning, 5 in the state of Georgia. In addition, there were 450 reports of severe thunderstorm winds, some of those causing damages like trees that fell onto homes, like you're seeing in the video here. Look how this big tree has crushed the right side of the home here. And if you look carefully, the entryway is at a bit of a skew to the rest of the house. I think the whole house is leaning. Certainly falling trees can cause quite a bit of damage. I was lucky a few years ago. I had a tree come down on my roof, but it didn't damage. It just came to rest there. Here it has done quite a lot of damage, and that's often the case. Sometimes it looks as if maybe the root balls in some of these trees are a little bit shallow, and they're able to be snapped off by the winds pushing like a lever on the tops of these very tall trees. We also had some funnel clouds that were reported but not confirmed as tornadoes. One of these right near the Mississippi-Tennessee line here, you see the prevailing cloud base, and then this big wall cloud that's hanging all the way to the ground. National Weather Service has seen the video, and here it looks almost like the tornado's right down to the ground, but you still, if you look very carefully, still see that there's a tree line that's still obscuring the horizon. So they're not 100% sure that the tornado reached the ground. They went out, surveyed, they couldn't find any damage. So this one is still being called a funnel cloud. That's some of the problems. We don't necessarily always know from the pictures whether it was a tornado or just a funnel cloud not quite reaching the ground. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Forbes. We are tracking Tropical Storm Ana in the Pacific, and it may threaten Hawaii this weekend. Can you believe that? We are dealing with Gonzalo in Bermuda, and here in Hawaii, we're going to be dealing with Ana. That was the very latest information on it. Now we're looking at our water vapor imagery, and notice that you really start to see maybe the green start to go away a little bit. Now, we're not expecting this to weaken, and if anything, it may intensify a little bit as it's getting towards the Hawaiian Islands. But we do have some drier to the north that may interfere with it a little bit, plus some southwest winds may provide some vertical shear to this, to where we may actually be fighting with this a little bit and maybe not see any kind of major intensification, but maybe get upgraded to a hurricane or so. Visible satellites showing a huge cirrus canopy over this tropical system right now, and the forecast does take it off towards the north and west with time. This is what it looks like as we put the radar into motion, the forecast radar, and the computer models are taking it to the west. Okay, you can see right there the circulation in this, and it's going to the west and maybe a little more towards the northwest. And then we're going to see it eventually heading up towards the Big Island. Now, the forecast models do keep it south, the center of it south, but we want you to focus on that because we're going to feel the effects of this, even if it's on this part of the cone. So we're going to see now this moving toward the northwest. Friday morning, 90 miles per hour. So this could be a hurricane at this point, weakening some as we get up here towards the Central Islands. Saturday morning with winds of 85 miles per hour. And then by Monday, moving away from the island. So we have all weekend. We're going to be dealing with this in Hawaii. So interests should be monitoring this very carefully. Again, no matter where it is on this cone, we're going to feel the effects of it. And it just depends how close it gets to us, how bad it's going to be. Of course, we are going to be following this all the way through the weekend. All right, guys, we're down to the number 2 video of the day. We want you to check this out. About 100 sharks, well, they're in the middle of a feeding frenzy in Cape Lookout, North Carolina. Just look how close they are to the shore. That's what freaks me out. All right, it's going to be very wet, though, here in the Northeast, and over the next couple days, we may be looking at not beach weather because of some of the dangerous surf because of Gonzalo. But here's a forecast for your weekend here in Portland. We're looking at rain with afternoon showers Friday and Saturday, and actually, this is the Northwest. We're going to check the rest of the country in the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about this storm coming in and who else it may be affecting. We'll be right back after this. Don't go away.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, mainly sunny, high 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off all major appliances, $3.99 and above.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
Here at High Acres, we always say, life is better on the farm. And that's because we love what we do, which is growing the best tasting fruit available. After months of nurturing, our orchards are bursting with crispy, delicious apples. And we can't wait for you to taste them. That's why we work with Walmart. They help us deliver some of the freshest apples available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Picked by farmers, guaranteed by us.
You change your style. Why not your eye color? New Air Optics Colors prescription contact lenses enhance your eye color for a naturally beautiful look with consistent comfort. Find your perfect color and get a free trial offer at airopticscolors.com.
It's Chevy Truck Month, time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. It's Truck Month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
I told my dentist about my sensitive teeth. He told me there's a whole new way to treat sensitivity. He suggested I try new Crest Sensi-Stop strips.
Just apply to the gum line of sensitive teeth for a quick 10 minutes. The special ingredient forms a lasting barrier that provides immediate relief and up to 1 month of protection. See why dental professionals endorse Crest Sensi-Stop strips to treat sensitivity. That's 1 strip, 10 minutes, and up to 1 month of protection. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Life opens up when you relieve sensitivity.
Remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson DC59 Motorhead? Before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush power to out-clean the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
For the year. Hi, sorry, just want to say, I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So sorry.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky!
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
And before we show you our #1 video here in the countdown, here's a recap of numbers 2 through 5. Number 5, how about some fog around Asheville, North Carolina? And number 4, this is a shot from space showing active regions on the sun, making it look like a jack-o'-lantern. How appropriate, right, for October. And number 3, late season snow down under in Australia. And number 2, kind of creepy here. Sharks on a feeding frenzy in North Carolina's Outer Banks. Too close for comfort. All right, guys. We have
feeding on it, if you don't mind.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of birds hanging around there. But all right, we've got Jim and we've got Mark joining us now to talk about these videos a little bit. One of them stand out for you guys?
No, I think that's the best display of four. I mean, you know, with the exception of the Carolina fog, especially given we could have great fall color. But the sharks, you know, that's pretty scary right there. The sun with the jack-o'-lantern.
Right.
I mean, seriously, that's pretty cool. And the snow, which was west of Sydney by about 35 miles. Sydney had some incredible weather. They had a tremendous light show. In addition to that, there was even a little cone tornado.
Oh, really?
In Sydney. Yeah,
okay.
in Sydney proper. So it was 53 there, and as you can see, the foothills, like we would get here a spring snowstorm.
Right.
Elevation is what mattered here.
Right, right.
Roads aren't looking too good there either.
That just seemed to be moving
that
pretty
heavy
good,
wet
though.
snow, you know, it's just like cake. It almost looks like Atlanta last winter, doesn't it?
That's exactly what it reminded me of. Yeah.
I'm trying to forget that one, Jim. All right, let's go ahead and take a look now at the #1 video, and this is pretty scary. Now, this is last week's tropical cyclone Hudhud that packed some major winds as it pummeled India's coastline. You can see the debris just flying by, winds gusting at least 70 miles per hour. But guys, I could have swore I saw a 130 mile per hour wind gust somewhere in India. And you know, we've got a lot of people still without power, thousands of trees and power lines down, and just look at the rain just being horizontal, and there goes some debris.
Look at that. Do you see how fast that moves? I mean, that is exactly why you just can't be outside. That little alumina fascia, the little aluminum roofing that they have. I mean, that stuff is airborne, and it's moving 50 to 90 miles an hour.
Couldn't that decapitate you?
Trust me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can. I mean, it almost happened to a cameraman of mine during Arthur.
Oh, no.
All right. There was this piece of aluminum on the roof that got loose. It had just come down in one of the swirls afterward, and I'm telling you, it dropped 3 feet in front of him. That's about as close as...
By the time you react, I mean, it's
as
too
scary
late.
as I've ever been for one of my crewmates, so I'll tell you that right now.
I bet. All right, well, let's talk about this country a little bit now and what's going to happen here over the next 7 days. And I hear we got some cooler air coming our way again for the Midwest and the Northeast.
Yeah, I've had enough of the humidity. Get rid of it.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do here for you guys. Well, yeah, it's going to be cooler, but first we're going to get soaked like we've been talking about across the Northeast. You know, we got the slow-moving low pressure that's moving up towards Boston, New York. So tonight it's Philly. Tomorrow night, like Jim was talking about earlier, it's going to be Boston. And the timing not good. New York City, morning rush hour, and then Boston a little bit later in the day towards the evening rush hour. So slow-moving area of low pressure. And we're talking about a wind-driven rain here, too, potentially, with that low pressure just kind of hanging around and winding up a little bit. And several little spokes of low pressure will move across here as well, keeping the rain around parts of central and northern New England as we get into Friday. Upper Lakes, wow, it's really going to look like fall. You know, those leaves coming off the trees quick with that wind and very chilly air. 53 in Minneapolis, Arrowhead of Minnesota. I don't think we're even going to probably clear 50 degrees the way it's looking as we head through the end of the weekend. Here's another area of low pressure just in time for Saturday. A lot of football games going on, and I'll tell you what, they're going to be rain-soaked here. Boston 71, right around 70 in New York, and across a lot of the West. Well, we've got another trough of low pressure here on the West Coast, and that is going to soak us maybe around Seattle and Portland as we get to the end of the weekend, starting off the weekend. And then as we get into Sunday, finally clearing up. But hey, look at this. Catskills, Tug Hill Plateau, maybe a little light, wet snow perhaps as we get to Sunday. Chilly here across the Midwest, or seasonably chilly, at least 61 in Minneapolis. Southeast, it's just going to be beautiful. This is just Chamber of Commerce type weather. 71 in Atlanta as we get into Sunday. 85 in Miami. And across the West, we're looking at a couple showers showing up here. A little bit of Pacific moisture moving back into parts of West Texas. And we are going to be looking at another little trough here sliding across the Ohio Valley as we get into Monday, Tuesday. More rain across the Northeast as we get into early next week. So, guys looking pretty unsettled. Same old story in the Northeast, more rain, but like you said, those leaves, they're just going to be flying off those trees with that gusty wind.
Big problems tonight, flooding in the Northeast, Utica, New York. 3 feet of water over the streets.
Goodness. Good. That's scary stuff, guys. We also have a lot going on in the tropics that could be scary for some of you. Hurricane Gonzalo in the Atlantic and Tropical Storm Ana in the Pacific headed towards Hawaii. It is forecast to become a hurricane. Now, Jim has the latest track, the timing, and the impacts next.
Many Americans who have prescriptions fail to stay on them. That's why we created programs which encourage people to take their medications regularly. So join us as we raise a glass to everyone who remembered today. Bottoms up, America. See you tomorrow, same time. Another innovation from CVS Health. Because health is everything.
You're going to want to watch 7 a.m. on AMHQ.
This is a big weather morning.
The biggest weather hour anywhere. What you watch in the morning matters.
Is your weather geeky this morning?
Make AMHQ your morning show. America's morning headquarters. Weekday mornings starting live at 7 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, mainly sunny, high 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Dad, I know I haven't said this often enough, but thank you.
Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. If you're a current or former military member or their family, get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
True Blend has the perfect blend for each of us.
CoverGirl Pink, blend of Rockstar and Mama Bear. Her True Blend?
Light 4, it blends in, doesn't build up for a flawless nude look.
Find your True Blend at Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl.
It's a brand new day. I'm gonna make a stand.
American Laser Skincare has redefined the laser hair removal experience. Faster, fewer treatments, clinically proven results. For value that you can count on, trust the laser skincare leader with over 12 million treatments performed. Get huge savings up to 75% off. Call 8.
As a mother of 2, it's really hard to work at home. When I really need to get stuff done, I hide in the laundry room. No one ever goes in there.
A lawyer that's a monkey.
Also, the dryer sheets really help my writing. Writing supplies, number 7 of my 20.
The Amex Everyday Credit Card with no annual fee.
Thank you.
Make 20 or more purchases in a monthly billing period and earn 20% more rewards. It's membership that rewards you for the things you already buy every day. What's your 20?
Hey, what's up? How's it going? What are you doing? I can't believe you're watching this without me. We agreed we'd catch up on everything tonight. If I did this to you, you'd murder me in my sleep. You know what? Just watch it by yourself. I can't not know when I know that you know.
The latest episodes of the Top 100 shows are preloaded and ready to watch with Xfinity On Demand. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Quote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8. Coming up next.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Here is a look of Hurricane Gonzalo as seen from the International Space Station this afternoon. You have to kind of look upside down a little bit, but what a cool way to see this hurricane. Unfortunately, though, folks in Bermuda won't think it's too cool when it's getting closer to them.
They really won't. We don't have anything that's weakening. As a matter of fact, it may be intensifying a little bit, Kim. Right. Did you ever see that movie Gravity, by the way?
Yes, I did. I know.
Oh,
I know.
Boy, I'll tell you, that left me with some nightmares last night. I gotta be honest with you.
It was kind of sad.
It really was. is. Gonzalo here, 590 miles to the southwest of Bermuda. So, we watched it today. Looked really good this morning in terms of the eye, very, very well defined. But now, kind of losing some of that convection, but coming back, going through what we call an eye wall replacement cycle. And you can see the last image has a new eye right there.
Yes,
all right.
Sure
if we had visible, we'd be a lot better off. And if we had microwave image too, I'd be able to show you that too. But we just, for whatever reason, it's down. This was as of 5 o'clock. We know it's coming. We talked to the premier. He's closing down the island.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what. And they're pre-positioning. They have learned a lesson. This is going to be Fabian. And if it comes right where it's forecast to do, it is absolutely going to be another Faye plus, I think, coming in here. There's no question with the trough that we had in the U.S. sweeping east, it's going to get pulled up in between that trough and the ridge off to the east. It's got to come northeast. And the problem is the models all say it's going to come northeast right near Bermuda. So again, a steady state Gonzalo, and unfortunately one that potentially could even be a little bit stronger. Hurricane hunters are going to be there tonight. By the 11 o'clock advisory, we'll have a direct reading on exactly just how strong this is, and they'll be constantly flying this.
And Jim, we were talking earlier about, the hurricane force winds extending out about 25 miles from the center. What will that mean, you think, for folks in Bermuda? What does that mean? That is an excellent point. I mean, you're essentially trying to find this little dot. And how close is it going to be to that little dot? Yeah, that's crazy. All right, if it's 25 miles farther west than it's forecast, they may not be too bad. But I think that wind field is going to expand, Kim, further to the east. I think we're going to have wider winds. And right now, what the Weather Service in Bermuda is actually saying is we're going to have about 27 hours of tropical storm force winds, and about 8 hours will be the hurricane force winds. Okay. All right, and that, where the GFS is by noon on Friday, which is what this shows, that's pretty good forecast, especially given what they're saying. The Europeans a little bit slower and a little bit farther to the west, so we'll see what happens. I mean, this time of the year, what's going on in the atmospherics is much more dynamical than in the middle of August. Right. You can have much quicker changes and things. So things can change at the last minute. Track forecasts going out are a lot scarier. Sure, either especially if this trough is a little bit faster. I mean, a lot coming off the East Coast. And when does this begin its transition in weakening? But right now, with this forecast, we're expecting a major hurricane across. All right. And we got to prepare people for that and not let our guard down. Okay. Anna. Anna is 630 miles to the southeast of Hilo, Hawaii. Real interesting. We saw a big blow up here today. Something on the visible imagery really scared me, and the fact that we had, and you and I learned about this from Dr. Lyons, this little starburst, this cross-banded cirrus coming out, which would indicate to us intensification. I'm thinking that's probably the eye. Yeah. All right. That's where it's been bursting. So we may see a repositioning of that eye, which changes the game entirely here. Now, you see this big upper low here. You think, oh, wow, that's going to shear it apart. Well, right now, it's actually helping to ventilate. The only shear is coming in from the big high here off to the east. That's actually maybe briefly pushed the whole central dense overcast a little bit to the south. But here's the thing. Will some of this dry air get into this storm? All right? The way this is screaming south, I gotta wonder. I gotta wonder. Also, if this is in fact farther south than the current position, the hurricane hunters are doing high altitude investigations on this, by the way. So there it is. Here's the visible. Look at that. You can clearly see some bursting going on right there. That starburst feature, those cross-banded cirrus going out from the center, a clear sign of that's exactly what Faye looked like, by the way, when it moved over Bermuda. We know it was intensifying there. The model says the center's up to the north. I think it's down here. It may relocate. I really do. I actually think it's down there where that convection is. So there's the burst. Well, we'll see what happens with the dry air. Here is what the model shows by Friday at 5 o'clock. Now, that's a new position, I think, from the GFS. That's a lot farther south than Hilo. Where does this go in time? All right, the European a little bit farther to the east. Some of the models, Kim, suggest some of the latest guidance actually suggests that trough finally picks it up and pulls it back to the north. That's the worst case scenario. A storm that, let me go red-white, comes in and then gets pulled. That's what happened with Aniki. And that's a worst case scenario. The big question is, what is that intensity going to be by the time that potentially happens? A lot to remains in terms of interest for Anna. We will monitor that for sure. Thanks, Jim.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 70. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, mainly sunny, high 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And welcome back, everyone. We're continuing to watch some very heavy rainfall move across parts of upstate New York and into parts of central New England. Oneida County still in a flash flood warning till 1 o'clock in the morning. New Hartford as well as Rome and Utica in the path of this particular heavy rainfall. Moving up towards Ohio and Boonville as well as these showers and thunderstorms. Mainly just heavy rain, though, not so much thunder and lightning. Moving off to the north. Reports of flooding across State Route 365 here. Herkimer County as well. A flash flood warning till 1:30 a.m. Some very heavy rainfall, the story here. And Philadelphia, you're sort of in between the heavy rain, but more of this could be moving up from the south. Big feed of Atlantic moisture heading up from the south to the north into much of central and northern New England into the mid-Atlantic states over the next 24 hours. New York City as well as Philly. You're going to see some heavy rain in Boston. You could be looking at some heavy rainfall by the time we get to late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. And more heavy rain down here off the Outer Banks, heading off to the north over the next 24 hours.
You're watching Wild Weather at 8.
Raging storms.
It's like jumping into a giant sandblaster.
Rogue waves.
Oh, God.
Sudden eruptions. Weather on the rampage. Striking without warning.
Oh, he just got wiped out.
Threatening lives.
I saw this one soldier practically drowning.
It's going under.
Here it comes.
Oh, wow.
Close calls.
I've never been this close to dying.
All on this edition of Weather Caught on Camera.
Watching this wall of sand come at us.
Oh my gosh, the people have kind of panicked.
A video crew on assignment in the Sahara Desert, caught in the path of one of the largest sandstorms on the planet.
We're gonna stick this out.
July 2012, Sahara Desert, Africa. A professional video crew travels to a remote corner of the Sahara Desert near Timbuktu. They plan to film the wildlife heading in their direction. Something finally stirs on the horizon.
There was definitely a disturbance of some kind. You could see something going on in the horizon.
But instead of animals, a massive wall of sand rolls out of the horizon.
We were sitting there in a totally blue, nice day, middle of the day, blue sky, and all of a sudden this thing came out of nowhere.
It's across the entire horizon.
The giant sandstorm is over 40 miles wide and towers hundreds of feet above the desert. The camera crew is directly in the storm's path.
You can see at the bottom of it on the horizon where the sand hits the ground. Just trees and everything are just getting whipped around, and it's just chaos. And it looks like a monster is going to eat you.
The cameras record the approaching storm. The crew prepares to escape. But Bob Poole, the lead photographer, has a different idea.
This thing is going really, really fast.
You're gonna stick this out?
Yeah, we are. We're gonna stick this out.
The crew stays.
That's when it became real. Once the cameras were set up, then we had time to think about if this was going to be dangerous or if it was going to hurt, if we should really be doing this. Just an enormous wall coming at you fast.
The monster storm slams into the crew. They want to stay, but the force of the sand is too much.
When it came over us, it hurt a lot. The sand really blasted us pretty good.
The crew huddles for protection in the truck.
We're hunched down in the back of this cab, and the winds are just howling over our heads, blowing sand.
The inside of that truck was crazy hot, but then getting out was worse.
For 4 long hours, the storm blacks out the sun.
You literally can't see your hand in front of your face. It's absolutely dark.
As the blackness fades, Bob Poole goes for a first-hand look inside the belly of the beast.
The red glow was the same in all directions. It was just this absolute, like, Mars red.
Finally, Poole gets back into the truck.
God, it's like jumping into a giant sandblaster. Oh my God.
It takes hours for the storm to finally pass.
It's getting lighter. Look at this.
The sand settles, the crew is exhausted, but remarkably unharmed.
This goes down as the wildest thing I have ever seen in my life.
From the heat and dust that fueled a desert storm to hurricane rains that swamped a city. A bold rescue in Hurricane Irene.
It's going under.
Sunk by rising waters.
The guy's floating.
August 28, 2011, Manville, New Jersey. Hurricane Irene is charging up the East Coast and makes its second U.S. landfall near Atlantic City, New Jersey. The 400-mile-wide storm suddenly heads inland. In Manville, New Jersey, the massive storm drops up to 10 inches of rain in half a day, causing huge floods. Newark Star-Ledger photographer Tony Kurtzik races to the scene.
It was around 10 o'clock in the morning we had started getting, news of what was going on in Manville.
At the edge of town, Kurtzik catches a ride into the flood zone with the National Guard.
I jumped on, and it was just me and this regular Army sergeant in the back. We were headed downtown to rescue people.
He's got his window open.
The special military trucks are designed to drive through as much as 5 feet of water.
So as we passed underneath the first railroad track was when the water really started to rush into the back of the truck. It came up to about our knees.
Look at that. It's crazy.
The Army trucks continue up the flooded road.
Years past when I had ridden in the back of these things, water would come in the back and I'd get my feet wet and it'd be no big deal.
But this is no ordinary flood.
The water is getting higher and higher and higher, and they're not stopping. And I'm thinking to myself now, we've got to be way deeper than what these trucks are supposed to be doing.
In fact, the trucks advance even deeper into the flood.
Before I know it, the water is almost up to my chest, and, there's about that much air left in the back of the truck.
It's floating.
Outside, the rescue trucks look more like submarines.
I don't know how deep the water is going to get. For all I know, it's going to be over the roof of the truck, and I'm going to run out of air.
Tony Kurtzik and the sergeant yell for the drivers to stop, but they aren't heard.
It's going under. The guy's floating.
I feel the truck bobbing and floating, and I know the wheels are off the ground. When the trucks finally came to a stop, it was just dead silence. There were some people on the bridge above us, and I could hear some people talking.
2 military trucks stuck in the water.
Kurtzik and the soldiers try to get their bearings.
It's muddy flood water. There's absolutely no visibility. So you put your head underwater, and it's, nothing but brown darkness.
But they need to escape. The soldiers in the cab begin to climb out.
I'm a good swimmer, but, I had these boots on that I knew I wasn't going to be able to swim in. They were just going to weight me down.
Finally, Kurtzik and a soldier squeeze under the wet canvas roof to safety. But it turns out things are about to get even more dire.
As soon as I poke my head out and I get my gear back, I noticed the soldiers were in trouble. I saw this one soldier practically drowning, and this other soldier swimming after him to try and rescue him.
The swimmers reach safety. Kurtzik and the soldiers are stranded on the trucks. The one dry cell phone allows a call to the fire department. But even boats are having trouble with rescues.
I'm here with the National Guard.
My Nikon just got flooded.
The message basically was, you guys are so deep into the flood zone, we don't know how we're going to get anybody to you.
The men wait. On the bridge behind them, people watch and take pictures. Finally, the rescuers get a break.
The fire department eventually came, and they stretched a ladder from the shore to the truck that I was on. When I saw them coming in with the ladder, it was a big relief, you know. Manville sections get flooded regularly. The town is sort of used to dealing with flooding, but never on this scale before.
Coming up, a flash flood traps a family just steps from shore. And a dust devil takes over a parking lot.
He's driving right through it.
When Weather Caught on Camera continues.
Wild Weather at 8 continues after the break.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado. From the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. It's Truck Month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Discover Card. Hey, I heard you guys can help me with fraud protection.
Yeah, we help with fraud protection.
We monitor every purchase every day and alert you if anything
Looks unusual.
Wow. You're really looking out for us. We are.
And if there are unauthorized purchases on your Discover Card, you're never held responsible.
Just to be clear, you are saying frog protection, right?
Yeah, fraud protection.
Frog protection.
Fraud protection.
Frog. Fraud. Frog.
Fraud.
I think we're on the same page.
We're totally on the same page.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Fraud protection. Get it at discover.com.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop.
Let's go base, shark, blitz.
Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Plug like this, on. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
For the year. Hi, sorry, just want to say, I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky!
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
You're watching Wild Weather at 8.
A Sunday afternoon picnic. Becomes a desperate race for survival. July 17th, 2011. This family is enjoying a summer afternoon picnic at the edge of the Padalpani waterfalls near Indore, India. The falls is nearly dry, like the riverbed. They take in the view of the valley. When suddenly, loud shouts from bystanders indicate trouble is brewing. A local records the commotion from the bank of the river. Picnickers quickly hurry to safety. A flash flood is sweeping downstream